They formulated their line right there. Formed their line. Curfew started at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we are an hour and a half into curfew.
Hello, everybody. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. We are live from Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
This is all sheriff's department here. This is what I'm seeing up front on the shields. Obviously, that's going to be not local, or it could be the local sheriff's department. But from what I've heard, they had up to 10 different departments involved in the push last night. So.
Again, thank you for joining us. It's Elizabeth City, North Carolina, Thursday night.
You got your less lethals over here.
Large number of police
impact rounds over on that side
coming out in response to about 30
protesters. Shotguns you see, those are going to be impact rounds as well, sandbags and rubber bullets, which suck. I'm going to tell you right now, they do not feel good getting shot by those bad boys. Behind that, you've got. Trying to see what else they got. They do have the pepper rounds right there next to the gentleman with the 40 mil. To the right of him is going to be your shotgun with the sandbags. Again, shitty situation getting hit by those bad boys. I got a collection of them at the house. I took one in the clavicle and I thought broke my neck at one point. Not fun. Behind them is even an equal group to this group. And you can see over the top there, they've got jump out van. It looks like kind of like their controlled vehicle or a paddy wagon of some type. And at least two more lines. This is what we heard last night.
Again, if you're just joining, it's Elizabeth City, North Carolina. This is live CJ Media, our live streamer for the night and commentator. It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus.
So there you go. There's the rooftop again.
You are violating the Constitution. Get a new job. Become a firefighter. Become a landscaper. Know my fucking laws.
Big shout out fire department. That guy looks like straight out of a video game. Man, look at that cat. That looks like a straight action figure.
Again, as we've seen over the...
So what the officer said was, the best thing you can do is either get off the streets or get on private property with permission. Now, they don't know if anyone gave you permission to be on private property, so that's the other conclusion, that if you do step on a private property and say you have your permissions, they're going to have to talk to the building owner, the property owner, to find out.
Again, about 30 protesters were out here, and for the third night in a row, a major overreaction by law enforcement to the...
I'm curious over here if they're going to move. So they got a lot of press over here, a lot of media events.
And you've got to wonder if this is just a drill, a practice session for them, just in case things escalate.
There's a line, they're stretching this out. They said arrest team. So they said arrest team, hold tight is what this gentleman over here said.
Hello to
Down over
True.
here,
Hello,
saying
Moon
the arrest
Dog.
team is hold tight.
Princess Di.
And
Everybody
so what'll happen in
in
these
the
situations is they issue targeted
watching,
arrests.
thank
They'll
you
go
very
ahead and
much.
pick someone out of the
The
crowd,
American Doofus Show.
or somebody. There's not really, I mean, as you can see, not really a crowd here, but they will single people out, and then they've got behind this shield line here, they've got an arrest squad, arrest team as they call it, that are lined up. You can see them, they're kind of like the mobile units or whatever. In Seattle, you see a lot of the police cop or the bike police up front, and they have their secondary line behind that that'll come out and issue those targeted arrests. And so that's what he was talking about over here was one of the, I don't know where their arrest team is. Sometimes they say that just kind of as an intimidation factor, kind of like they're all arrest teams is what he's saying. Are they running? Are they actually on the sprint? You don't see that in a lot of places, man. I know Portland, they were doing it down there. That's true. That's true. They said private property. They say if you're on private property, you're good. That is a lot. They got 2 buses in the back, you guys. You can't see that in the very back there. Like, I don't know if they're with a backup of more officers. But that is a large show of force for such a small group. I mean,
again, the third night in a row where an excessive amount of force has come out
on these side streets.
when there's been absolutely no threat. The buses CJ's talking about are Department of Corrections buses in the back. They had them out last night. Had 5 people in one of the buses. As
I've been in much larger protest situations with a much smaller crowds, or a much smaller police presence, which is wild. But yeah, if you guys would share that stream out, I appreciate you. But even the news squads here are kind of like waiting it out. They're kind of gridlocked in here, so they can't get out either. I don't know if this is just the new hold line, which is interesting because they're in front of the public safety building, like you said, where the sheriff held up. You know, I think honestly, they're giving this press over here a chance to leave, is what it seems like. Because they held up right when these folks were like, oh, we're getting in our vans and their rental cars, and they're kind of peeling out. But I mean, you got how many? Couple hundred at least. I mean, two. I'd give at least what do you think? 200? What do you think the number is there? It's super hard to count. We have a broken down car. No, I got it. We have a broken down car. That's somebody went through real quick. I don't know who said that. That's it. It's interesting. They're having like a long distance negotiation about the vehicle.
Again, if you're just joining us, this is Elizabethtown, North Carolina, the site we've been at for the past 5 nights now, and a police presence for the third night in a row. Each night it has escalated. They're letting the local television stations leave as the live streamers are still here streaming. And we're watching CJ CJ from Seattle, Washington. We had him live tonight. Sadly, the Rittenhauer kid in Kenosha, Wisconsin, killed 2 people and maimed another. CJ was covering that night, and we had him live. Sadly, so he's one of the best there is, and we're in good hands tonight. And here we go.
He was asking the police if they were going to tow the vehicle that broke down, the one we saw overheating. He just was wanting to get guarantee from the police that they weren't going to impound that vehicle. Damn, that's a lot of police. A screenshot, please. Get a screenshot here real quick.
I have sensory issues.
The strobe light is to mess with live streamers' cameras so they can't see what's happening.
Right there, y'all. Go ahead and grab that. Appreciate you. Thank you. I don't know if they had somebody that they were others folks in that dark alley there. There's no one. I mean, not that I would assume that there's anybody like laying in wait, but yeah, guys, share the stream, please. Get on here, like, share, support. Appreciate it. But you can see, it's a huge sign of force, and there's not that many people out here. I mean, so a couple hundred. A lot of them fell back a little bit back over here, but I mean, no real way to talk to them either. So. Yeah, I wonder what they're up to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that was someone's clothes or. You guys, I mean, if I need to explain that, yeah, what I'm out here to do is be the eyes and ears of what's happening in the streets out here in the city right now, Elizabeth City. That's what I'm doing. People keep asking what I am and who I am. Gotcha. I'm moving, just,
Again, we're watching.
I got more of a lateral motion in my steps. That's kind of that's my gig.
We're watching CJ Media. CJ's from Seattle and just arrived in town. This is the third night of law enforcement activities. Each night has progressed in the amount and how quickly they move in. It is a massive show of force for absolutely no problems. There hasn't been any rioting. There hasn't been anything even close to looting or burning or destruction. Everything's been peaceful, and it's been met with escalation by law enforcement each night. That's not an opinion. You can go back and watch the episodes. For those that are just joining, it is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. The majority of people left our media, as you see, and yet they proceed. So we'll see how this unfolds.
I'm amazed with the sign of force that I'm seeing here for this such a small group. On Facebook watching this, you're watching CJTV. This space for CJTV. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Behind us here, you got a pretty large police line, a couple hundred at least, that are out here for a group of no more than 30 people. I mean, that runs deep. You look on the other side over there. They got a couple buses in the background. They've got an aid vehicle. They've got a control vehicle. I mean, it's on each end of the street. They've still got, patrol cars down here. They got patrol cars down there. Talking about Izzy right here.
And this is what we've seen in many places where they come out, they grab one person, put them back behind the line, and then proceed to restrain them there so that it's not visible to cameras what's happening to the people that are.
What is your name?
Appreciate y'all being a part of the stream here, helping make this happen.
Here we go again. They come, they grab one of the people. Everybody's peaceful. They pull him back behind the line, and he will be handcuffed and processed.
They got dudes down there on quads that are kind of stirring it up.
It's a constant attempt at escalation. And so far, the people of Elizabeth City, North Carolina have been nothing but peaceful. They have not resisted. They have not fought back. Other than being out here every night voicing their First Amendment rights. And a massive police presence.
There we go. He said that's the way it's going then. You don't hear that talk. You said that's the way it's going then.
This is one of the medics you just saw to the far screen right.
Sorry, but you get to a situation where they've been saying it for a couple hours now. So leave now, you'll get arrested. And at some point, the kind of like the sting of the statement is lost on the crowd. But it's no less true because we have seen 2 arrests now in the last couple minutes. And you can see they're nervous about it. They're showcasing like these windows up here. Like I'm assuming that some of these people have got to be pretty like especially trained. I did see SWAT vehicles, so because they're looking out for. I mean, there's a window top up there, like a window up the top there, open window. They're shining lights on that. They're paying attention to like every little detail. They found some bags, some backpacks that were behind the building in an alley, behind some garbage cans, and they took those.
Again, at some point, we're going to see that there's going to be.
You might see a situation where as long as these cars don't gridlock each other in, they'll be all right. But
we're going to find out a definition of media at some point. There are going to be those that say just because you're out here with a camera does not mean you're media.
You see on the far side over there,
when you are
you see the blues blinking in the distance.
When you're unaffiliated.
So they're doing they're on the peripherals following as well.
And again, the strobes are to blind the cameras. We've seen 2 arrests so far. If you're just joining us, this is Elizabeth City, North Carolina. We're watching CJ, live streamer, commentating. And this is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. We're live once again, as we've seen the past 2 nights.
So this has been now. I mean, my time is on Pacific, but right now we're at 9:49, which puts us at almost 2 hours past curfew at this point. I'm trying to get behind. If I can see behind you guys, so you can see. There you go. You can kind of. I'm gonna zoom in on that. See if you guys can see behind that line right there.
That's the bus where they put the people that are being arrested.
Of which there's 2 buses, a Sprinter van, like one of those jump out vans, another control van, 2 of them. And I mean, I don't even know how many like squad cars or whatnot. I mean, I saw at least 6 or 7 when I went down there and asked about the curfew earlier. And again, I appreciate y'all helping make this possible.
Again, the police presence is basically
so this is one of those
an acceleration from what we've seen the past 2 nights. Each night there's been more and more police.
You should be first.
And more media.
People say, like, you know, they keep saying that you guys aren't even from here. Like, we live here. This is our city. These are our streets. We don't need to go home. We live here. Like, and they kept saying, like, you guys go home. You know, go back to whatever county you came in from. But man, it is. I mean, it's an impressive sign of force. The sheer number of police they have out here for this small group. What's he about to throw? Oh, it was a water bottle. Thought he was about to hug someone at this car.
Okay, they're not going to advance, at least for the moment. Shields down. Okay, I'm going to hop into the chat for just a second here for the first time tonight. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. Again, it's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Hello, Salty Granny, Moondog, Knuckles, Talk Black, Komet. Thank you all for watching. Thank everybody that's not in the chat, of course. We appreciate everybody watching. Again, the footage is coming from CJ. This is live. Elizabeth City, North Carolina. We've been doing this the past few nights now. And the first night we saw Elizabeth City police come out in the police line in their brand new riot gear, just out of the box. And each night has advanced. And Elizabeth City is not at the forefront. This has been sheriff's departments from throughout the state that are gathering here. And an absolute overabundance of force when there has been zero. Absolutely nothing has happened other than peaceful protests. So, of course, peaceful protests can turn violent in a heartbeat, and especially if situations get amped up and somebody decides they're going to confront the police. And I think that's why they're out there. But that's just my opinion. That's not news. That's not a fact. That's just my opinion. So we'll go back to CJ now, and I'll be back in the chat in a few moments.
Kettle is where you got a police line formed on the front, and they kind of close the door on you. You know, think about it like that. You know, they end up swinging a door shut, and you end up caught behind a police line or sandwiched in there. Yeah, you can see there's a pretty large police line over on this side as well. I'm just gonna have to keep my feet about me just in case. Good, good. They don't like me being over there. All right. Take it easy, We're good, All right. Mosquitoes are crazy, guys. North Carolina's got pterodactyls. They don't got mosquitoes. The issue is my car is parked way behind that police line, so I'm stuck anyway. You said in about 2 seconds you're going to be arrested. You got the 2-second warning. What did he say to you? What did he say to you about arresting him? I saw it. Did he say anything about press? I mean, you're credentialed up. I see that. Yeah, he knows who you are. Okay. Sure. Okay. Legitimate question. What's the deal with the sheriff? Or what's his name? The Dalton? What's his name? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the guys.
Wooten.
We see you. We hate you. We see them good signs in your hand. Hey, what would you do for $1?
they're going back to that news channel right now.
Okay, we'll hang here for a few minutes with CJ, and if he doesn't pop back on, we'll get another feed up. And of course, my laptop has gone to sleep. Okay. Thank you for hanging with me here. We will have CJ back up here in just a moment. And we should be coming back up. Okay. Hang with me, folks. It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. And we should reconnect live here momentarily. Had to reset, and hopefully we're back. Hello, Pariah, Sissy McLeod. Hello, everybody that's joined. We're back. Momentarily, anyway, we were back. Quickly remind you what's happened in Elizabeth City, North Carolina today. The names of the 7 deputies were released. The names of the 7 deputies were released earlier today. Shit. Sorry about saying shit. Names of the 7 deputies were released today that were involved. 4 of them did not fire a shot, so they are back on active duty and probably in this lineup here. The 3 of them that did discharge their weapons remain on leave pending investigation. That's the latest from here as far as
Let's see these shares will go. Make sure everyone sees what's going on. For anybody that's just tuning in, you're watching CJ TV. There it is. Just in case you're on Facebook and you're curious who you're watching, CJ TV right here. It's a guy that looks a little bit like this. We're out here in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, following a protest about the body cam footage with the shooting of Andrew Brown Jr., who was shot by the police. and the judge has now ruled they're not going to release that body cam footage. The folks here, they set up an organized march, made their way through the city. They have a now citywide curfew. I don't know how far it stretches, from 8 o'clock until 6 a.m. That being said, they've already issued a couple of arrests from folks that are in the crowd that are kind of a little bit too close to the police line. And at this point now, they've kind of got, what you can see behind me, there's not that many folks. You know, we've only got maybe 20 people that are out here. But you got at least, like, in its total number, there's probably 200 mixed officers of mixed law enforcement behind me over here. It just was a wild sign of force for such a small group. So that's what we're doing out here. That's what you're looking at. And so I'm going to show you guys what's happening over there.
And that's the cool thing about having CJ on. CJ's from Seattle.
They've been mentioning the arrest. So we got the front line here. Obviously, behind that, they've got guys. They open up the shield line, and that second line are the ones that are coming out and snagging people. And they're taking them back to some of the paddy wagons they've got in the distance in the back there.
You're getting an outsider's perspective. He's from Seattle, and he's used to Portland. He's used to Seattle. He's used to.
They hold a little bit of a kettle over here. They had a news team that was over here on the far side, but they. Oh, there you go. So these are the arrest teams right here. They're moving in.
They're going to move in on you.
You see, they got their zip ties already, and so they opened up the shield line there, let these guys through. On the far side over here, you still got police vehicles that are moving their way up, down, up over here.
I'm always concerned about the live streamers, especially.
There's one of their jump out buses right there.
No, that's not a jump out bus. That is a take you to jail bus.
I don't know if it's empty or they're coming to pick up troops, or not troops, but officers. But yeah, seeing that. They got two of them.
Yes, those buses are to arrest people.
Okay.
Again, CJ's new. He just got here.
That's how they did it last night, didn't it?
Yes. They kept him a little farther down last night, but again, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging in here. American Doofus Show, don't be a doofus.
Real fast, that tower up there, that just looks like something straight out of a scary ass movie. Can we just say that right now and agree on that one?
Yeah.
Just saying.
And again, the lights, they're not strobing at the moment, but they are to deter filming, detour documenting what's going on.
Optically, though, it's...
There's the strobe.
He said it's the Little Olympics. Ready to sprint. I think he's back there stretching out his hamstring, getting everything. Well, you don't want to pull a hammy. That's for sure.
The comments and opinions of CJTV are not necessarily those of the American Doofus Show. As we always say, whether we have guests, whether we're showing live streamers, unless you hear it from me, it's not necessarily the opinion of the show.
There's a screenshot, y'all. Right there. Oh, you're golden. You're golden. Good. We gotta go back. We gotta move on. Come around. All right, cool.
You're starting to come around and kettle in. We talked about kettling a lot over the past 10, 11 months now, 10 months.
But yeah, they're hustling on that kettle though. They got the numbers to do it. If they wanted to swing around the far side, they can do that. So everyone got to kind of look out.
They are swinging around the far side.
From one of the side streets.
This is kind of what we've seen the past 3 nights. Brief standoffs, and just about when you think, well, it's over, then something happens. And that's not necessarily true. If you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to worry about in this situation because you're out here. And some independent media's press credentials are going to be questioned. If not here, if not tonight, very, very soon, because they're going to be cities imposing restrictions because they don't want this stuff shown.
This started off as an organized protest march, or an organized march, escorted by the police. It made its way all the way back to downtown here. They hit the curfew at 8 o'clock. And they made announcements for about an hour, and then they brought out a wild amount of force. I mean, a couple hundred officers at least that came out with a mixed barrage of your riot police. You got your sheriffs from out of county. I heard that there was at least up to 10 different counties present today. And all of this is about body cam footage from an officer-involved shooting that took the life of Andrew Brown Jr. They allowed 20 seconds of that footage to be released, and they're not releasing any more of it up until the actual court date itself. 20 seconds of edited footage, to be clear. At this point now, the issue that they've got is the family, friends, the community. Keep in mind, this is a community protest out here. Folks that are out here that know Andrew. We walked right by his house, actually. Neighbors and friends and family that just want answers. They want answers. They want to know what happened. They want the entirety of the story, and they want to know there's nothing being held. Keep in mind also a little fact: there have been 3 officers that have resigned, and I believe 7 that are on suspension right now in the wake of that shooting. Without there even being any public awareness of the full entirety of the story, that should tell everybody something. That there is something more going on that we don't see. And tell our people the live channel so they can also watch. Oh yeah, CJTV.
Again, just to clarify, 4 of those 7 that were placed on leave are back in force. They're back in duty. The 3 that fired their weapons are still on. They're still on paid leave. 2 people resigned and 1 retired. Just to be clear on the actual outcome from law enforcement over the incident. And also to clarify, as far as when tapes are coming out, the body cam footage will be released to 2 members of the family and 2 attorneys that are members of the board, the Bar Association in North Carolina, and they will be done. That will be done within 10 days. Then within 30 to 45 days, the judge will make a second ruling as to whether the footage will be released to the public. So that's the actual situation as we stand legally here in North Carolina. Just to clear up.
Not only did he get his shoes tight, but he's also ready on the sprinter. He's ready to rock and roll. What did you call it, the Hood Olympics?
And you're watching the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. We are watching CJ Media, CJ TV Media out of Seattle, Washington. He is in
I was talking about this is the
Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
This is the tight lace right here. This is what's going on. Like I said. You from here? Yeah? You were Drew's best friend? So tell us a little bit about Andrew. Let's go. Let's go. You can hear what this guy's saying behind me, which is interesting, because that's one of those things to keep in mind is the body cam footage are not releasing because they said they don't want it to taint the case. They said that they want to be able to keep it, and I don't know if they're using that because of the George Floyd case and how much publicity that had, and if that was a thought that it might have affected the jurors, if that's their thought. But in situations like this, we got requests from the community, family, and friends that for the last 9 days have been out in protest just so they can have more than the 20 seconds of the doctor body cam footage that they have released. But as you can see behind me, they've got a large force of people that are kind of pushing locals here back to their homes, as I said, back to private property, as it was mentioned by the captain of this crew down here. But that's the controversy right now that a lot of people have. Should all body cam footage be available to the public? I'm sure there's a lot of different opinions, but I know personally, if you look at it from a personal standpoint, if it was a person from my family, I would want to know in great detail what happened. So you can imagine that the folks in this community are feeling the same way. But the way that they've done it, I think, is just it opens the door for a lot of suspicion, and I think that's where so many people have an issue right now, because it's been a 20-second clip without its entirety. Again, that itself is only going to show one small portion of what happened. But then there have also been subsequent statements that have been released by the police department about that incident that again are now giving they're tainting the view of it even more. So,
as has happened the past 2 nights, here come the ATVs and the this crew has come through each of the past 3 nights. And the American Dupa Show does not condone this kind of behavior on motor vehicles. It's a nice distraction for a few minutes, but it really takes away from.
I didn't care how wild because I had fallen off every four-wheel vehicle I've ever gotten on. Hey, look at that. Sorry. Yeah, no, I got it. Just done and done.
Again, you can see exactly how many people are out here. Most of these people, I don't think were part of the protest. I think these are just neighborhood people that are just out here to see what's going on. And some of them are loving it and getting arrested. I can't imagine the police are going to allow this to go on much longer. But it is entertaining as long as nobody gets hurt. Honestly, for the number of police in the area, I'm surprised it took that long.
Slowly roll past. Oh, here they go now. Oh, they're going to roll up on this van here. Here they go. They'll be pulling people out and arresting them now.
The two in the green that were in the center of the screen both have pepper spray.
And again, you guys are watching CJ TV.
Or pepper.
Be clear if you're on Facebook watching.
Pepper ball.
Any restreams right now.
Bullets.
That aren't on YouTube or Twitch. Is this dude right here. Appreciate you guys jumping in. But you got, so again, to be clear, who's that? Ooh. Got you, brother. Thank you. You got, several hundred police behind me over here that are, they just pulled everybody out of that last van. So, you see that front line back here, they've all got their zip ties in hands, they're ready to rock and roll.
Okay, just kind of set the scene. You've got the two vehicles here. You've got a line of officers. You've got another line of officers. You've got a bus, and then you've got officers behind them as well. And
see now they got
they are circling around even more.
Got that side street down here, they're whipping up over there. Be careful on that one. Got them zipping up the side street over there too. I gotta be just as careful as everybody, guys, because they'll snatch up anybody.
Yes, they will.
So,
smart man.
Everybody's falling back pretty far here, but they still got a couple of news or media folks up front there. I just want to make sure I got them out.
Always.
Is that cemetery?
Always have an egress.
Okay.
Looks like an old cemetery.
Did they snatch up those guys down there? Oh, okay.
Again, if you're just joining us, it is Elizabeth City, North Carolina, Thursday night. We are live here at Shea Doofus, watching the action. CJ from CJ TV Media out of Seattle, Washington, providing the live stream.
Couple people. I don't think these guys are going to be the ones grabbing anybody. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about that. Oh, those other guys, okay. For real.
Now's the time of situation where it's like, okay, I'm not going to get arrested. I'm going to quit covering, but can I get back to safety? You're in a strange neighborhood, in a strange city, in a strange state.
I wonder if that's I don't know if that's a news team or just independent.
I think it's independent. Awful lot of taxpayer money spent on a very minuscule possible threat.
And me. I'm amazed with the amount of officers that were actually came out for this. I mean, for all the events I've been to, all the protests I've been to, I mean, for this small of a group to come out a couple hundred deep, I mean, it was damn near like an 8-to-1 ratio. Oh, they're disbanding now? Down there? For a while. Those were all done. Uniform. Gotcha. No right, yeah. Gotcha. Right. Whenever all of that shit came back, well, mine's just right there. Well, fuck off all the way. I'm parking way back. I think I'm on this block, like way back down. Yeah, I am like right behind where the line was. Oh, okay. You're all the way. Yeah, you're locked in. You're not going anywhere right now. You're not going anywhere. Right. I'm just hoping that they wouldn't come this far. Surprise, surprise. I'm glad they're not, it's not tear gas on that, which is, I mean, when you come into these communities, I've seen it in so many different places.
Hop into the chat here for a second. Say hello.
You have it.
Hey, Sage, what's going on? Hello to everybody watching.
What's almost worse, man, is the pepper spray. When they tag you with the big can spray, because you can't get it out. Like, it's in your tear ducts, it's in air, it gets in your sinuses. If they get you in gel, yeah, that's the one that literally sticks to you. Yeah. That CS gas they were using in Portland was pretty crazy though. Like that stuff, like I got hit. Oh yeah, I'm from Seattle. So I was all through the
Shalom. What up, Young City?
Every other week, I just want to drop everything.
Peace to all you.
There's a lot going on up there in Seattle, Portland. Portland has been going non-stop. Yeah, every fucking day. Yeah, every week started last year.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Steve said he would join the protesters. Wow. Good for Steve. That's awesome.
That was a crazy.
Carpe diem.
Hundreds of flashbangs bangings like all night, like 10 bangers, like 9 bangers, whatever they call them, like boom, 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 tear gas.
I've been up by the
block
screen. I haven't been back here in chat much, so
And I'm talking
thank you all for watching.
It was insane, man. Like I was telling stream about earlier, and like everybody, there was not a single person that didn't get stomped on by at least one or two individuals. I got hit in the face by one with a baton. Like I was helping pick up a guy with condoms, and I look up and he just swung down and cracked me right across my gas mask. It was in front of a 7-Eleven, like 3 blocks away from the federal building. I was like, bro, what is going on, man? And they grabbed the dude by his leg and he drug him out of the street and just dropped him. Like, man, that's crazy.
Okay, more police pulling up here.
Yeah.
They're not going to want anybody congregating anywhere. And again, keep in mind, this is a city of about 18,000 people. Roughly half of the population is from the Black community. And everything's been very peaceful, as always is expected. The police have escalated each single night. And the protest crowds have grown each night. However, they all disperse when the warnings are given. Somebody trying to pull through the police lines, not a good dude.
Rapid deployment teams are nuts,
I do.
Man. They're just like the super troopers that come out, and they were just, I mean, I'm watching them drop kick like
Buenas noches.
Yes.
Namaste.
I dude right beside me, he came up and just straight Spartan the chick at the sternum. And I was like, oh my God, that's someone's mother. You can't kick a mom. That's against the rules of life. So those were what we had nonstop.
Again, CJ's from Seattle, and he's seen some stuff. Ooh, in his days covering, and we're going to listen to a couple of his stories.
They roll around like those dudes rolled up on ground. Oh, the body snatchers? In the back of the truck. Oh, okay. Oh, like the jump out vans. Yeah, where they just hold on to the railing. Yep. The stuff, man. Yeah. All like fucking cross street, every street, you would just see trucks, stacked bodies in the back. Like 18 people just hanging off the back. You know what's crazy? You got to Portland and they got to the point where you show up and you just follow them. You see one, you just got to follow them. You knew where they were. They end up where one of the crowds were. It was wild, man. And then we had it on film. We had the body snatchers, which were crazy. We saw those feds when they first got there. The ones in the black vehicle. The minivans, yeah, the rental vans. Man, the first time it happened, I swear to God, we got it on film. I was talking to my crew, and I'm watching these guys down the street, and they all kind of like broke down, and 2 of them took off running. And this one guy he kind of just froze in the headlights. And the minivan came down, flipped the U in the intersection, so it's going the wrong way on a one-way. And 4 guys in fatigues hopped out. They pulled his shirt up over his head, and they threw him in the back of the van, and then they sprinted off down the one-way. Yep. And all of us just kind of, what the hell did we just witness, man? Like, no cuss, nothing. And then we just started seeing those guys. They would run the perimeter like sharks, and they'd find people and snatch them up, and like, they wouldn't come back. We don't know where they were. No, I mean, we heard some, like, they got released. They were like, now they go to, there's like an underground entrance that goes into the federal building. They would take them after that. They'd take them into the building, search them, question them, photograph, ID them. They get them all logged in, and then sometimes release them into the wild or keep them holding them. Then they gave them crazy sanctions. They're like, you're not allowed to be around the protest if you're within like so much like a proximity of these federal buildings, like in violation of whatever probation they put them on. I don't know, but that was crazy. Like watching people get snatched off the street. I was just like, dude, this is like, and they were in minivans, like rental vans from like Davis, like Enterprise rental car. I mean, not that I'm talking bad about Enterprise, even though you guys charge me $85 a day for my damn car, which is unacceptable. I'm gonna say that right now. You can't charge someone $300 for 2 days of rental. Just like I got your insurance too, people. Come on, Enterprise, help me out a little bit, man. That shit was wild. Watching that messed up. I still want to love. It's like everything keeps happening out here. Fucking Virginia's had 3 in the last month. What's been going on in Virginia? Isaiah Brown. Yeah, okay, yeah. The lieutenant in the army who got fucked up at a gas station. There's one more. And Virginia's close. Yeah. Virginia's a lot closer than where I'm coming from because I got Elizabethtown in my head. So when I planned my trip, I planned it to go to Elizabethtown, which is only 2 hours from Charlotte. Yeah. So no, and then as I'm getting on the plane, I'm like, it's Elizabeth City. And I told my stream already, I was like, Elizabeth City. And then I Googled it and I was like, it must be close to Elizabeth. No, it's not. So I'm getting on the plane, like, that was a 5.5 hour drive. I was like, damn it, I picked the wrong side of the state. It would have been better for you to fly in like Baltimore and drive down. It still would have been an hour less drive.
Don't be a doofus.
So I'm seeing this all on the planes. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
A few weeks ago, Virginia Beach Police Department, there was an unarmed man, no body cameras, no witnesses, no video footage of anything.
Yeah.
They're still engaging about that. There was like 3 incidents that whole night. There was like a shootout between unrelated people, but 2 of the cops that responded to that went like 1 block over, killed a guy. It wasn't hard.
Really?
It wasn't a suspect. It wasn't suspected of anything. Just like they shot him.
Wow.
And they're refusing to like be transparent or refusing to answer the questions or anything. I mean, like this dude was like well known, Donovan Lynch, well known guy, and
That's wild, man. So is it the body cam footage thing? And I'm curious. I know a lot of people are asking me. Is that common practice for them to withhold body cam footage, unless it's like a murder case, something along those lines?
I don't know. I feel like it's based on the area, jurisdiction, whatever, the county.
He's exactly right. It's based on state jurisdiction. Body cam laws in North Carolina are set up to protect police officers, not for public record. And you can check the law on that.
This one right here is really just odd. Like the way they've done it, like they leaked the 20-second, like kind of edited version of, or edited portion.
Absolutely edited.
Oh yeah, of the body cam footage, and they haven't released its in entirety. But you've already had officers that have been suspended and that have resigned over that incident, and it blows my mind to think that like whatever's on there has to be a pretty incriminating situation. Like, officers have already been like, I'm leaving, and been put on leave.
And for the sheriff to be like, oh well, body cams are shaky and they're not always reliable. Like, bro, no, that's not the case.
There it is. That's the thing. You guys, any camera's better than no camera,
Exactly.
right?
Like they are shaky, but literally every single body cam footage we've seen, yes, it's been shaky, but guess what? We can still tell what happened.
Sure.
We can still see what happened.
Right.
People watch movies, they shake the camera to give you the effect.
I'm shaking you guys right now. You still see me?
Exactly. So like that whole bullshit excuse, I'm like, bro, I'm fucking decided for a videographer. Like, that's bullshit. Anyone with any bit of common sense knows that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You're fine. We're all run-ups. But
like,
yeah, I was saying now we can walk back. So we've just been killing time, guys, because everyone's been gone, but all of us ended up parking. Me and these gentlemen are parked down on the other side of the police line here. So.
I've literally been here all day.
This tripod of mine.
All right. I'm going to drop down the volume here a little bit and kind of wrap up. I think this is pretty much done for the night. I will keep monitoring. If something happens to break out, we'll hop back on. But I think obviously this, Starla KS, I think that every police officer ought to have the body cam on, and it ought to be on from the moment their shift starts until they come back to their station. It's not shut off while they're eating dinner. It's not shut off while they're visiting somebody on time or anything. It's not shouldn't be up to the officer's discretion as far as when they turn their cameras on, in my opinion. So going to wrap things up here. Again, thank you all for watching. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I love y'all. And Again, a couple of arrests, but a mostly peaceful night, all peaceful on the side of the protesters. Police officers once again have, and this is not an opinion. This is just you can see it happening. Police presence escalating each of the last 3 nights. Thank you all for being here. Again, I'll monitor, and if anything happens, we will hop back on. But if not, we'll be here tomorrow. And again, should anything break, we will jump back on live. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I love y'all. Thank you very much. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. I'm Barry Welsh. Good night.